In a shocking moment that left viewers reeling, Piers Morgan has just exposed alarming secrets about Angela Rayner on live television, igniting a firestorm of controversy in political circles. This revelation has the potential to be a game-changer for Rayner and her reputation. What began as a routine interview quickly escalated into a heated exchange, revealing cracks in the Labour Party's facade and raising serious questions about the future of its leadership. Let's dissect what transpired and its far-reaching implications for Rayner's political career. From the outset, the atmosphere was tense as Morgan confronted Rayner about Labour's ambitious housing promise to build 1.5 million new homes. Local councils, the very entities responsible for executing this grand plan, have already labelled these targets as utterly unrealistic. As Morgan pressed Rayner for clarity, the flaws in Labour's housing strategy became glaringly evident. Families across the UK are grappling with the harsh reality of unaffordable housing, and yet, here was Rayner, struggling to provide coherent answers in the face of mounting pressure. The numbers paint a grim picture, with current construction rates falling dramatically short of Labour's goals. Experts have pointed to infrastructural and planning challenges that render these targets little more than wishful thinking. During the interview, Rayner made a jaw-dropping claim that there was no housing shortage, a statement that contradicts Labour's commitment to addressing the very crisis they promised to resolve. This inconsistency only fueled public frustration, prompting viewers to question if there truly is no housing shortage. Why are so many people living in temporary accommodations? Why is homelessness increasing? The credibility of Labour's entire housing strategy seemed to disintegrate before our eyes, leaving a trail of disillusionment among the electorate. Voters have already endured years of unfulfilled promises, and this latest debacle only deepens the rift of trust. The question now looms: can Labour reclaim its credibility after sustaining such a heavy blow, or have they merely handed their opponents a golden opportunity to call their competence into serious question? Just when the housing debate appeared to reach a boiling point, Morgan dropped a bombshell statistic that sent shockwaves through the studio. He revealed that of every 7 new homes built, 5 might be allocated to immigrants. The room fell silent as the implications of this revelation sank in, and Rayner's expression spoke volumes. Public reaction was swift and brutal, flooding social media with outrage as many felt betrayed by Labour's immigration policies, which seemed to prioritise newcomers over long-standing residents who have waited years on housing lists. This controversy has unearthed a deep divide within British society. On one side, there's empathy for those fleeing conflict and seeking a better life. On the other, there's a growing anger from locals who feel forgotten and abandoned. Morgan's statistic was a detonator, igniting a fierce debate that rattled the very foundations of Labour's political strategy. In an emotionally charged moment, an audience member couldn't contain their frustration, rising to their feet and demanding, "What about us? What about those of us who've lived here all our lives and still can't get housing?" That moment encapsulated the raw emotion and sense of betrayal felt by countless citizens who believe their leaders are out of touch with the struggles they face daily. Rayner's struggle to respond was palpable, her words drowned out by murmurs of agreement erupting from the audience. The consequences for Labour could be severe. Their credibility on housing, already hanging by a thread, now appears to be in tatters. How can they continue to claim to be the party of the working class when their policies appear to prioritise newcomers over long-standing residents? This is a question that will haunt them as they head into the next election cycle. As the dust settles, it's clear that the housing crisis linked to immigration has exposed deep-rooted tensions in British society. It raises uncomfortable questions about resource allocation and the very definition of what it means to be British in the 21st century. For Labour, this is not just a political nightmare. It's a challenge that will shape policy debates for years to come. The erosion of trust in Labour's housing strategy is a seismic shock to British politics, as ambitious promises collapse under scrutiny, leaving disillusioned and angry voters in their wake. The revelation that a significant portion of new housing might be designated for immigrants has fanned the flames of controversy, exposing harsh rifts in society. This isn't merely a Labour problem. It speaks to the core of British political discourse as a whole. As one housing expert pointedly asked, if there is genuinely no housing shortage, why continue making grand promises that seem more like empty slogans? This disconnect threatens to further alienate an already sceptical electorate. The implications for social cohesion in the UK are equally alarming. The housing crisis has laid bare fault lines between communities, potentially exacerbating existing divides. Without a balanced approach that addresses the needs of both native residents and immigrants, these tensions could erupt into broader social unrest. Looking ahead, the key question remains: can any political party present a housing policy that genuinely serves all Britons, regardless of their origin? The answer may well define the trajectory of British politics for years to come. In a separate but equally troubling incident, Reports surfaced about Keir Starmer being granted priority access at a popular attraction, skipping the line while ordinary citizens waited for hours. This incident has left many frustrated, with one witness remarking, "He's obviously in a position of privilege, but it was frustrating to see him skip ahead." Starmer's actions have been deemed disrespectful and contrary to the very spirit of fairness and equality that Labour professes to uphold. What are your thoughts on these unfolding controversies? Share your opinions in the comments section below. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the latest news and political developments. Together, we can keep the discussion going and hold our leaders accountable.